So, Plateau State, in the budget over the years, and even in this one, this has been repeated in this year's budget, and it's the desire and call of my constituents that the Senate will address this imbalance and to make provision for the Akwanga-Jos-Bauchi Road, and equally to facilitate the completion of the Jos Yakubu Gowon Airport, Hepang.
I'm coming from the southeast of this country. I know we have so many abandoned projects in our area. One is the second Niger Bridge. It's very, very important to us because we are businessmen. We are also moving up and down. The other issue is the 9-mile Makurdi Expressway. That is very, very important to us because that's the gateway to the north, and that we take to get to Abuja and beyond. The other issue is the Akanu Ibiam International Airport. We have for over 43 days now. That airport has been closed. Mr. President, we are begging that in this year's budget, now that that place has closed, and that's the only major airport in the southeast, that the federal government should allocate money, since we are not doing new projects, ensure that that airport is done for.
And still on the appropriation bill, the House of Representatives has passed for a second reading the 2020 appropriation bill. The bill, which was submitted by President Muhammadu Buhari with an estimate of about 10.3 trillion naira on October the 8th, was referred to the Committee on Appropriation for further legislative action. The House, after extensively debating on the budget, adjourned plenary to October the 29th to commence the defense of the budget by ministries, departments and agencies.
On the budget as presented by the Mr. President on Tuesday, in particular the allocation to health, 46 billion, in a country where our population is over 180 million. I believe 46 billion is not going to do anything in terms of health for our people. With 46 billion, that means that we don't take our health and life seriously.
For me, it appears more like budget of standstill. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, this is apparent from the fact that the recurrent expenditure of this budget is 4.8 trillion. The capital expenditure for this budget has been reduced from 2019 budget by 721 billion, by 23%. Mr. Speaker, the debt servicing, the amount of 2.48 trillion has been provided. What does this mean, Mr. Speaker? It presupposes that what is available to Nigerians is for capital is about 1/5 of the budget. There is no country that can make progress with this kind of expenditure.
From page 1 to Z, or to the last page of the budget, I have read the statement of Mr. President. The allocation to departments and agencies of government are quite appreciable. But Mr. Speaker, one issue that is important for us to mention for the purpose of adjusting some of these errors in the next feature or next presentation is regarding to the way and manner our budget seems to be unbalanced. Mr. Speaker, if we have 2.18 trillion budget deficit that is projected in the 2020 budget to finance both domestic and foreign debts, and at the same time, we have 2.45 trillion estimated for debt service.
And in other African stories, the 2019 Nobel Peace Prize has been awarded to Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, who made peace last year with bitter foe Eritrea. He was awarded the prize for his efforts to achieve peace and international cooperation. Abiy's peace deal with Eritrea ended a 20-year military stalemate following their 1998 to 2000 border war. He was named as the winner of the 100th Nobel Peace Prize in Oslo, where he will receive the award in December. The award is worth some 9 million Swedish crowns. Following the announcement, Abiy said he was humbled and thrilled. Thank you very much. It is a prize given to Africa, given to Ethiopia, and I can imagine how the rest of Africa's leaders will take it positively to work on the peace-building process on our continent. End of quote. Now, a cargo plane carrying presidential staff crashed in eastern Congo on Thursday, and all 8 passengers and crew are feared dead, a presidential advisor told media on Friday. The plane carrying President Felix Tshisekedi's driver, a logistics manager, and some soldiers was headed from Goma to the capital, Kinshasa, and went off radar on Thursday afternoon, an hour after departing, a statement from the Civil Aviation Authority said. Debris of the plane has been found, but the passengers are still missing, said advisor Vidiye Shimanga. He had told media earlier on Friday that 8 bodies had been found, but said that information was incorrect. The cause of the accident was not yet clear. Local media showed a crowd of hundreds of Tshisekedi's supporters hitting the streets of Kinshasa after the news broke on Friday morning, fearing that the plane crash had been some kind of failed coup attempt against Tshisekedi. And that's it on our African Scenes. Up next is our foreign news.
Honey!
Daddy, please, can I go out with you and Mommy tonight?
Sure thing, sweetie. Get your shoes and we go.
Promise?
You have my word?
Daddy!
You know I wouldn't leave without you, my princess.
There's nothing more important than a promise. We are Fidelity. We keep our word.
That money will shoot every person that we know can shoot. We don't let people die there.
You could have killed me for a long period of time.
That time why I carry gonorrhea. I first go hospital first, but it no go. Now I come make that mama.
He just pulled it, he pointed and shot.
They suffer too much. They suffer too much.
Issues around the Nigerian police, we have to tackle it holistically.
On the foreign scenes now, 5 people were stabbed at a shopping center in the northern English city of Manchester on Friday, and police said counter-terrorism detectives were leading the investigation. The stabbings took place at the Andel shopping center in the heart of the city. The mall was evacuated as armed police rushed to the scene. We can confirm that 5 people have been stabbed and taken to hospital, Greater Manchester Police said in a statement. In these early stages, we are keeping an open mind about the motivation of this terrible incident and the circumstances as we know them. The center had been evacuated, according to David Allinson, director of the mall. And that's it on the foreign scenes. Up next is our business news. Now, Now in business, the Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, has said 85% of value-added tax in the 2020 budget will go back to the states and local governments area. The tax would be channeled to take care of salaries and infrastructure investment. According to him, the remaining 50% will go to the federal government for the development of infrastructure. The minister, who disclosed this in a statement issued by the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing in Abuja, describing the 2020 appropriation bill as pro-people and pro-state. According to him, the bill would drive development of the states and enhance the well-being of citizens, as he charged the general public to look more at the content of the bill instead of the numbers. The minister, however, emphasized that people should look at the clear statement of intent of the bill, stressing that it would grow the economy, raise money, and not hurt people through unfavorable tax regimes. And that's it on business. Still ahead on Plus TV Africa News is a roundup on entertainment and sports news. We will be back in a moment.
Politics has helped shape the decision of the polity, from conspiracy theories to good old-fashioned comic politics.
These are the result of tomorrow's election. Okay, you have it already, have you?
I think we've done very well in the very difficult circumstances in which we took over governance.
Plus, politics will fill the polls of the country, from friends to frenemies, even strange bedfellows, to clones and stooges. We go beyond the rhetorics and the drama to analyze the story behind the story.
Let anybody come and say!
The perception in itself does more harm than actual corruption that you have.
Plus Politics, not just another political show. It's about putting you, the citizens, in the know.
And in entertainment, Jared Black, the man driving Kevin Hart's blue Plymouth, has been blamed for the accident that occurred on September the 1st. According to reports, Jared Black must have accelerated rather recklessly down the road, causing the car to swerve into the embankment and slam into a tree. Although the report states that Black was not under any influence, the accident left the actor and Jared seriously injured. According to investigators, none of the passengers in the car were wearing any seatbelts, which might have also added to the seriousness of the situation. Kevin Hart has, however, said that he had nothing but love to Jared and wishes him a speedy recovery. The actor, who sustained back injuries as a result of the accident, is also reportedly doing fine, as he is expected to start working again by next year. And that's it on entertainment, and the very best in sports coming up right after this break. In sports, former Super Eagles coach Samson Siasia has said he is yet to receive any financial support from Nigerians to enable him lodge an appeal against a FIFA-imposed live ban at the Court of Arbitration for Sports. The ex-Nigeria international, through his lawyers on Thursday, secured an extension to a CAS deadline of October the 10th to make payment of about 36 million naira for his appeal to be heard. World Football Governing Body FIFA in August handed Siasia a live ban from all football-related activities for accepting to receive bribes in relation to the manipulation of matches while he was coach of Nigeria. In addition, he was also fined about 18 million naira.
It doesn't even matter if it's true or not, because nobody has done anything to help anyone anyway, so you understand? So if they didn't ask for this extension, and then the live ban would have stood without any support from anyone. And that's not.
And that's our news roundup of events at this hour. For more news updates, please follow us at Plus TV Africa on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And do subscribe to our YouTube channel at Plus TV Africa. We will be back later with more stories making the headlines. Please do join us again. I am Amaka Okoye, and do have yourselves a great day.
is it for upcoming artists to blow in Nigeria.
Welcome to Plus Trending. I am Buki November, your host, saying thank you for joining us on today's episode.
Welcome back. It's tea time on Plus TV Africa.
Practice makes perfect. I'm not perfect yet, but I'm a lot better than I used to be.
He's a king. He's entitled to marry 100 if he wants to.
Many thanks for joining us on the show today, Plus Sports and Plus TV Africa. This is the show that gives you updates of everything happening across the world of sports. I am Udoka Njoko. Let's start off from the Amputee Eagles, and of course they have done us proud every time they go out to represent the country, in as much as we get to suffer funding crisis for these lads that go out to represent the country. And talking about them, the Special Eagles, they have created history on Thursday when they defeated Tanzania by 3-2 to progress to a historic final in the 2019 Cup of African Nations for amputee football players, and that competition is actually holding in Angola. And Victor Nwenwe's side, who are making a return to the competition for the first time in 6 years after financial constraints that prevented them from competing in past editions, will play the winner of the second semi-final game between hosts and World Cup champions Angola and the defending champions Liberia. And Kelvin Kingsley scored his fourth goal of the tournament, with Oyeleke Sarafuddin and Grema Mohammed also getting on the score sheet in the Special Eagles' hard-fought win in Benguela. And both sides had earlier played a goalless draw in the group stages prior to meeting again in the semi-finals. And head coach Victor Nwenwe had set a target of winning the maiden continental title for Nigeria, and the team now stands a game away from making further history. So congratulate them as they have made that history and going straight to the finals of the competition. And we wish that they can actually represent and of course bring home that trophy, and we will surely celebrate them. Win or lose, we will definitely celebrate the Special Eagles representing Nigeria out there in the African Nations Cup for amputee football players. Well, moving to the next story that we have for you this morning, it's all about tennis, and it has to do with the Lagos Open going down at the Onekon, the Lagos Lawn Tennis Club in Onekon. And looking at that, we have no Nigerian presence in the quarterfinals after the country's remaining players all failed to progress past the second round of the competition on Thursday. The women's draw, teenage sensation Oyinlomo Quadri gave up a set lead to lose to 5th seed Ria Bhatia in 3 sets. And Bhatia will go on to play 2nd seed Sandra Samer in the quarterfinals after the Egyptian accounted for Nigeria's top-ranked player, Blessing Samuel, without dropping a game. In the men's draw, Nigeria's Emmanuel Idoko put up a stiff opposition, but ultimately came unstuck 7-5, 6-4, 2 straight sets against tournament top seed Skandar Mansouri of Tunisia. In the quarterfinals, Mansouri, who is on the hunt for a 5th ITF tour title this year, will play 7th seed Takanji Garaganja of Zimbabwe, who advanced after Nigeria's Joseph Vime retired injured when he was trailing 3-0 in the first set. I mean, we keep talking about developmental sports in the country, and we'll always look forward to Nigeria doing well and representing Nigeria well when it comes to continental competitions. But yet again, we have crashed out on all sides, and we're looking forward to a better time for Nigerian athletes. Well, the Lagos Open is still on, and it continues today. Today is day 5 of the competition, and the players are still hotting up right there, raring to go and giving their best when it comes to the world of tennis. Switching back to football, let's talk about the Nigerian Professional Football League, and former champions Enugu Rangers International Football Club has promoted 4 players from their feeder team into the senior team, which was reported by an official on Thursday. And the club's media officer, Norbert Okolie, said that the move was part of efforts to fortify the team for the 2019-2020 NPFL season. And commenting on the friendly game between Rangers International and Heartland FC of Owerri. Okoli hailed the resilience and technical depth of the Flying Antelope, saying these earned them the victory. And Rangers International won the match played at Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium in Enugu by 1-0 with a 75th minute substitute strike from Christian Madu. He scored the only goal in the 90th minute in that one. So good one for Rangers International. But then still staying with the Nigerian Professional Football League, the proposed date for the kickstart of the new season, talking about the 2019-2020 season, is supposed to be on the 20th of October. Then the question is, will the league really kick off on that day amidst all rumors of crisis hanging in the body meant to be taking charge of the league? That's a tough question. But then we spoke to Aikoji Ojekere, the publisher, Niger League magazine, and he gave us his views on the present situation of the Nigerian Professional Football League.
The present situation of the league is certainly not good for Nigeria. I mean, it's Nigeria as a country. Countries are known for their leagues, not national teams. That's why you hear La Liga, Spain comes to your mind, the Premier League, England comes to your mind, Bundesliga, Germany, PSL, South Africa, Ligue 1, France. That's the truth about it. The league is important, but as it is now, attention has been diverted to the Super Eagles. Everything is about the Super Eagles, and that explains why the league is like this. Little or no attention, to the league. The NFF runs football in Nigeria and should be responsible for whatever it is that's happening to the league. But like I said earlier on, it's about the Super Eagles, and the league is just in the cooler. Likely kickoff October 20 is what we've heard. We'll wait. October 20 is a few days from now. Let's see what happens, if that will be a reality or not. We're already in October. November is just around the corner. And the league is here to start. No one knows what's going to happen. It doesn't tell well at all. The effect of the league not kicking off, I mean, it's already obvious. Pillars and Tornadoes were knocked out. Again, there could be an argument that the teams are supposed to be responsible for their preparation. Yes, but the question again is, what the league should also have questions to answer, because if the players have been competitive, that's why today you hear preseason every other day. I mean, the teams in Europe don't attend every preseason tournament. Some could go to China, others could go to the US. You choose where you want to go. You can't be everywhere. It's unfortunate that the teams have been hopping from Asaba to Djibouti to Kano because they have to play. Because they have to be playing. We have Rangers and Enyimba in the Continental Championship. Let's hope that they will continue to do well. The playoff is around the corner too. Enyimba dropped from the Champions League. But when there's no league, how do you beat a team like Al Hilal? That's a problem. But truth is, those who run the league should tell us when the league will start, what is happening to the league, because part of the problem is communication.
Well, part of the problem is that communication, and of course, Aikoji Ojekere speaking his mind right there. And we're still looking forward to the kickstart of the new season, and we'll just wonder when we will get things done the right way. And this is not just affecting football. We also have the basketball league that has not kicked off for a while now, and the players are not finding it funny. I mean, we talk about the Zenith basketball organized for women. Well, it's been on for a while, and the ladies are actually enjoying the best of basketball. But we'll look forward to having the male competition kickstart, and the date has not yet been announced. There's been postponement upon postponement upon postponement, and the players are really tired of the situation. The coaches as well are complaining. And in football, we have the likes of Enyimba and Rangers International representing Nigeria on the continent, but yet, remember, Enyimba dropped out from the Champions League. Rangers as well, not doing so well. But then we have another stage of the CAF Confederations Cup. If they get to win the games, they will qualify for the group stage of those competition. I beg your pardon. But then we're hoping for the very best when it comes to Nigerian sports. And now moving over to the international scene, talking about the international friendly between Brazil and Senegal. Neymar became the 7th man to win 100 caps for Brazil in a friendly draw with Senegal in Singapore. The Paris Saint-Germain forward could not add to his 61 international goals in a frustrating display in front of a sparse crowd. And Liverpool's Roberto Firmino puts Brazil ahead with a lovely chip from Gabriel Jesus' clever pass. And after Sadio Mane had been fouled, Bristol City striker Famara Diodi equalized from the penalty spot. And Neymar twice went close late on from free kicks, but landed one on the roof of the net and saw his second one well saved by the goalkeeper of Senegal, Alfred Gomez. And Senegal went closest to a winner as Liverpool's Sadio Mane, who played the full 90 minutes at the National Stadium, hit the post from the edge of the area. And if you notice, some pictures have been flashing, the likes of Cafu, Roberto Carlos, Tafarel, and co. Well, we'll be letting you know about them. For Cafu, he has played 142 times for Brazil from 1990 to the year 2006. And that's, this is, let's go back to Cafu, and so we can understand clearly. Yes, this is Cafu. So he played from 1990 to 2006, and he scored 4 goals, and he has had more than 100 appearances for the Brazilian national side. And moving on to Roberto Carlos, he is the second man who has hit a centurion of games for the Brazilian national team, as he also had 125 appearances, scoring 11 goals between 1992 and 2006 when he retired. And one of those famous goals that he scored was a free kick against France, the France national team, and that's when we came up with the tag banana curve for free kicks. It goes to Roberto Carlos. And still moving on to other players who they've marked the 100 appearance for Brazil. Dani Alves is another player who started playing for Brazil in 2006 till date, and after 117 games, he has scored 8 goals. And Lucio featured for the Brazil national team from 2000 to 2011, making 105 appearances with 4 goals to his name. And Claudio Tafarel and Robinho are the 5th and 6th players to have hit a centurion of games for Brazil. And Brazil takes on Nigeria on Sunday in another friendly game. Well, talking about the game between Nigeria and Brazil, the game between Brazil and Senegal ended 1-1. We now wonder what will happen between Nigeria and Brazil. But for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, Stoke City and of England midfielder Ogenekaro Etebo made a late-minute withdrawal from the Super Eagles team yesterday ahead of that friendly game against Brazil. So it's not a good one at this moment for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. But then the NFF have said that it is not going to bother them playing against Brazil, knowing that Ogenekaro Etebo has been ruled out of that encounter. Well, his withdrawal and that of Olaino, who had a domestic accident, has reduced the initial 23-man list to 21, talking about the players that will feature for Nigeria against Brazil. And the match is generating interest not only among Nigerian football fans, but of course amongst all sports Federation, and they're all talking about this game against Brazil, and we're hoping that Nigeria can actually get one against the Brazilian national team, as it is coming 23 years after the famous victory of Nigeria at Atlanta 96 Olympic Games. And Coach Gernot Rohr has opted not to replace the 2 late withdrawals, and the Franco-German already replaced defender Kenneth Omeruo with Tyrone Ebuehi with Fosa Solomon Otabo during the camp, following France-based Samuel Kalu's unavailability. And no reasons were offered for the stepping aside of Etebo, and the remaining 21 players trained yesterday morning, and 2 will train later today, talking about the Nigerian Super Eagles players who would feature against Brazil in Singapore. And the fans are talking tough, and they're saying that Nigeria can actually defeat Brazil in this one. I'll keep my fingers crossed. I can't even make a bet. I can't make a prediction on this one, but I'm sure we'll enjoy the very best of football. Well, let's take a short break. When we come back, we will touch on a few stories on some of the matches that were played in the Euro 2020 qualifiers.
Seek their dream. Throb with desire. Joy welled up in their hearts. brand new life adventure is about to begin. Create a life as someone new. Nigerians in China on StarTimes Da Donkoa.
Hey, what's up, guys? You're welcome to another edition of Plus Event, and I remain your host, Ifeoluwa Oshukeye.
Your absence isn't an excuse anymore, as Plus Events is all you need, as we bring you the glitz, the glamour, and loads of fun.
Oh, definitely. By no question. He's a living legend.
Oh, God forbid, Holy Ghost fire, I know.
I just want to be blown away. I want to be wild.
This is 11 years of doing it.
I'm surrounded by so much positivity. No, it's okay.
Yo, what's up, my people? It's your boy Starboy Terry. You're watching
Plus Event
on Plus TV.
Stay glued to Plus TV Africa every Saturday and Sunday, 4:30 p.m. West African time.
And welcome back to the show. It's still Plus Sports on Plus TV Africa. And looking at the Euro 2020 qualifiers, before we get to the Belgium game, let's look at some of the results of matches that were played yesterday in Group C. We have Belarus playing out a goalless draw against Estonia, and the Netherlands defeated Northern Ireland by 3-1. We'll get to that story. And Croatia defeated Hungary by 3-0. That's in Group E. And Slovakia played out a 1-0 draw against Wales. And in Group G, it was Austria defeating Israel by 3-1. And North Macedonia defeated Slovenia by 2-1, and Latvia lost at home to Poland by 3-0. And Kazakhstan lost to Cyprus in Group I by 2-1, and Belgium defeated San Marino by 9-0, and Russia defeated Scotland by 4-0. And in the Belgium game, they became the first team to qualify for the Euro 2020 as Romelu Lukaku scored twice in that 9-0 thrashing of San Marino. And Roberto Martinez's side have an unassailable 11-point lead over third-place Cyprus in Group I. And for Belgium, they led 6-0 at break after Lukaku's brace, 2 own goals, and Nasser Chadli and Yuri Tillemans strikes. And Christian Benteke made it 7-0 before Yari Veshkarin scored a penalty, and Timothy Castan wrapped up the win. And Lukaku's double takes his international tally to 51 and makes him the first player to score 50 goals for Belgium, a great achievement for Lukaku, who is seen as a Manchester United reject. And of course, the Manchester United fans are actually angry at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and the board right there at Manchester United for letting Lukaku go. And for the Inter Milan striker, he has 6 goals in 10 games for club and country this season. I mean, this is a striker who is in form at the moment. And meanwhile, Russia looks set to join Belgium in progressing from Group I as they strengthened their position in second place with a 4-0 win against Scotland. Still staying with the Euro 2020 qualifiers, Northern Ireland's hopes of Euro 2020 qualification suffered a major blow as they went down to an agonizing last-gasp 3-1 defeat by the Netherlands. And the Dutch moved top of the group ahead of Germany and Northern Ireland on goal difference. And European giants Netherlands and Germany both have a game in hand over Northern Ireland and are now in pole position to secure the 2 automatic qualification spots from Group C. And Northern Ireland remain in contention, however, with a home game against Roland Koeman's side and an away fixture against Germany to come in November, but it looks like a very uphill task for the team. Now, looking at the games that we played today, in Group A, we'll be seeing the game between Czech Republic and England, talking about the 3 Lions of England, where we'll see our own, the English boys now. I'm talking about Fikayo Tomori and Tammy Abraham. That game kicks off by 7:45 p.m. And the other game, Montenegro takes on Bulgaria. In Group B, Portugal takes on Luxembourg, and Ukraine takes on Lithuania. And in Group H, we'll see Andorra against Moldova, and Iceland takes on France, and Turkey will be taking on Albania. Interesting games to look forward to later today, talking about the Euro 2020 qualifiers. And wrapping up with the world of car racing this morning, Formula One to be precise, they have cancelled all activities at the Japanese Grand Prix on Saturday as Typhoon Hagibis approaches. And organizers said that they had taken the decision in the interest of safety for the spectators, competitors, and everyone at the Suzuki circuit. And the tropical storm, this year's biggest, is due to hit Japan on Saturday. And qualifying at Suzuki, which had been due to take place at 8 a.m. on Saturday, has been postponed until 2 p.m. on Saturday, and the race will be scheduled at 6:10 a.m. Talking about that one, and we're looking forward to an interesting car racing time. And let's see if Lewis Hamilton can get to win yet again, ahead of the likes of Sebastian Vettel and Hamilton's teammate, talking about the German right there, talking about Valtteri Bottas. Well, that's the size of the package this morning, Plus Sports and Plus TV Africa. I hope you enjoyed the package, and we look forward to giving you more stories of everything happening and breaking in the world of sports. Do keep it locked down to Plus TV Africa. I'm Udoka Njoku, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Hear the stories making the headlines.
The Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria.
I'm here at Yunus Bashorin Street, where
the fire destroyed our transformer completely.
The lowest level you can.
Plus TV Africa, the big stories live here.
Big stories live here.
Big stories live